Turn to business news now with Madison Reedy on the other side of me in the studio here. Hi, Madison.
Hello.
Tourism Holdings posted a strong result, financial results.
Tourism Holdings is a camper van renter, and so they're the largest camper van renter in New Zealand and Australia, and they posted a huge profit result today. So their net profit after tax more than doubled, with an increase of 107%.
Holy moly.
To 62.4, and that's up on last year's financial year to June of 30.2.
Which takes us back to New Zealand's 540 million, right? So it's the same people coming.
Tourism boom.
Boy, oh boy, they're spending up large too, aren't they?
But surprisingly, their growth in revenue from rentals in camper van rentals in New Zealand actually was relatively subdued. So it was more in Australia, and they also operate in Canada that actually saw better growth. But I mean, they are certainly getting some benefit from that tourism boom there. And within the year as well, that are obviously benefited so much to their books, they actually started a joint venture with the United States' biggest RV, is what they call it over there, maker, and they're called Thor Industries. So they teamed up, joined forces, and created a joint venture called TH2.
RV are the super big camper vans,
yes.
Right? Yeah, right. Okay.
And this joint venture is more of kind of a digital focus type business. So it's actually the parent company of some travel apps. You may have heard of one called Road Trippers, which operates here, and Campermate as well. And they're actually going to put some of that profit, an extra 15 million invested into that, to boost it over the next year. And they're pretty bullish about growth for that venture.
Madison, we don't often talk about unions in business news, but KiwiRail's been praised for cutting a pay deal with the unions. What's this about?
It's been called Landmark, so it's a bit of a special one, and the reason why we obviously kind of did give it that attention as well. So this deal's been cut between KiwiRail, which is obviously a Crown entity, and their own union, which is called the Rail and Maritime Transport Union. And it's a flat rate pay increase, which is different to your typical kind of union debate to get a pay increase for union members' staff. So it's a little bit different, whereas instead of just getting a flat increase across the board for all members, say take nurses, they pushed for a particular size of increase for pay and all staff get that at a certain time. What this does instead is actually that the lower paid rail workers will get a higher increase, those in a higher pay will get a lower increase. So it's actually going to give a better living wage to the most vulnerable workers. So I guess the people who need it most are going to see the most benefit there, and so that just narrows the pay gap. And what is also special about this is that it was made within a day. Now, obviously, I'm sure that you've covered many union, debates in your time. That's quick, in a matter of hours. And also, what's special about it is that it was made at grassroots level. So leaders from both sides stood out of the discussion and let it actually be sorted out between the people it affected. And the Council of Trade Unions has actually come out and congratulated them for that, and said that other businesses and employers who are, usually take a lot of time to do this stuff, have something to learn from this. And it is a little bit of a slap in the face as well to work groups that are kind of talking about this type of thing with little action. We've spoken about before. I think the last time we actually spoke about unions was when we spoke about the Future of Work forum there, and they're obviously talking about these types of things with that backdrop of employment law reform and things like that. There was also a great quote in there from the union General Secretary Wayne Butson. He kind of gave a bit of an inkling to hope as to what this, say, landmark pay deal means. And he actually called it a small chink in capitalist armour, because leaders did have to step aside here, and it actually worked out better off. And he hopes this will see a new age of fairer pay deals, less greed, and a more equal society.
Absolutely fascinating, Madison. Thank you. What happened on the markets today?
Oh, a lot happened on the markets today. Well, actually, a lot happened, but then not much happened. There was an outage on the NZX today, so it actually all shut down at 11:30am, and it stayed shut since. So pretty much we had a closing this morning, and NZX is investigating that. They've said that it's an internal error, but they haven't actually given any public information to the market yet. So it actually closed up, but at 11:30am, pretty irrelevant. We don't really know what would have happened today otherwise. Closed up nearly 0.1%, about 8 points, at a record high again of 9,214. And the New Zealand dollars buying at 66.9 US cents, same as last night, 91.2 Australian and 51.9 British pence.
Madison Reedy, thank you very much indeed.